Okay, so Bitcoin. 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 It's everywhere these days, right? You hear it, you know what it is, but like, what else is there?
Yeah, it's kind of like, when you think about space, you think about the sun, but really there's all this other stuff out there.
Exactly. A whole universe we never even think about.
A whole universe. And that's what we're diving into today. That universe beyond Bitcoin, the world of altcoins.
And to guide our deep dive today, we've got this awesome Investopedia article, Altcoin Explained, which is really interesting.
I think a lot of people hear altcoin and think, oh, it's just like I don't know, a less successful Bitcoin.
Right, right.
But they're more like, innovations. They're taking what Bitcoin did and they're saying, okay, well, what if we tweak this or what if we try that?
So Bitcoin's like the prototype.
Yeah, kinda, yeah. It's
Hmm.
like the first iPhone or something. It's revolutionary, but there's always room for improvement, right?
Okay, that's a good way to think about it. So
Mm.
Bitcoin's the pioneer. Altcoins are the next generation. But it gets kind of confusing, right? Because
Mhm.
they're all built on this technology blockchain.
Right, exactly. And a lot of altcoins actually have their roots in Bitcoin.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so they'll take Bitcoin's code, it's called a fork, and they'll kind of build off of it, change it up a bit to try to achieve something different.
Like branching off the family tree.
Precisely. Bitcoin and Ethereum are kind of like the parents.
Ethereum, too.
For sure, a lot of newer altcoins are built off of Ethereum as well. They've got their own, like, personalities, strengths, weaknesses, that kind of thing.
Okay, so Bitcoin and Ethereum are like the parents. Then you have all these altcoins branching off, trying to, what, make their mark on the world.
That's it, yeah. And you know what? The very first altcoin was actually Litecoin back in 2011.
Wow. 2011 is ancient history in the crypto world.
It really is. Litecoin tried to improve on Bitcoin in a few ways, like transaction speed and energy consumption.
Right. So altcoins have always been about innovation,
Exactly.
pushing the boundaries. But I'm guessing it's not a one-size-fits-all situation. We can't just lump all altcoins together, right?
Definitely not. There are different types of altcoins, each with its own purpose.
Okay, good, because I was starting to get a little lost in the weeds there. So let's break it down. What are the main types of altcoins we need to know about?
Well, the Investopedia article does a great job of laying it all out, actually. They've got
So many altcoins out there. It's like a, what did you call it? A family reunion.
more like a family tree with all its branches and offshoots. But yeah, there are a lot, and they do different things, which is important.
Right, because if they were all just trying to be Bitcoin, that would get pretty boring. So let's dig into these different types. I know the Investopedia article breaks it down.
Yeah, they actually do a nice job categorizing them, which is helpful because, like I said, the altcoin world is vast and constantly evolving.
Okay, so first up, and this one seems pretty self-explanatory, payment tokens. These are basically just trying to be digital money, right? Like Bitcoin.
Exactly. Digital cash. Bitcoin is still the big player there, of course, but there are plenty of others competing for a slice of that pie.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So if they're all trying to be digital cash, what's the difference? Why create a new one if Bitcoin is already doing its thing?
Well, some people argue certain payment tokens improve upon Bitcoin in certain ways, like maybe they offer faster transactions or lower fees.
Ah, so it's all about efficiency, making those digital payments smoother and maybe cheaper.
Exactly. And then you've got things like privacy. Some payment tokens prioritize anonymity and security in ways that Bitcoin doesn't.
Interesting. Okay, so we've got digital cash, but then there's the whole issue of volatility. The crypto market is known for its wild swings.
Right. And that's where stablecoins come in. They're trying to, well, stabilize things a bit.
Okay, that makes sense. How do they do that? Glue it to something solid.
Kind of. They peg their value to something more stable, like the US dollar. So one stablecoin might always be worth one US dollar, even if the rest of the market is in free fall.
It's like having a little safe haven within the storm.
Exactly. Tether and USDC are two examples you might have heard of. They're pegged to the US dollar, and they're pretty popular.
Yeah, those ring a bell. Okay, so we've covered digital cash and stable digital cash. What else is on the menu?
Let's talk about security tokens. Now, these are where things get really interesting, at least in terms of potential.
Oh, how so? What makes security tokens so special?
They basically take real-world assets and put them on the blockchain.
Okay, give me an example. My brain needs something concrete to latch onto.
Sure. Imagine instead of a physical stock certificate, you had a digital token that represented your ownership in a company. That's a security token. Or It could be a digital deed to a property or even proof of ownership for a piece of digital art.
So it's like taking something that exists in the real world and creating a digital blockchain-based representation of it. And because it's on the blockchain, it's secure, transparent, all that good stuff.
Exactly. It has the potential to really shake things up in a lot of industries, like finance and real estate.
Wow, that's pretty huge. So you're telling me my future house deed might be a bunch of ones and zeros floating around in cyberspace?
It's possible, and that's just one example. Security tokens could change the way we invest, how we buy and sell property, even how we think about ownership itself.
Okay, my mind is officially blown. So we've got security tokens with the potential to revolutionize, well, everything. What's next?
Let's shift gears slightly and talk about utility tokens. These are a little different because they're not trying to represent an external asset like a security token does.
Okay, so what's their purpose? What do they actually do?
Think of them as tokens that give you access to a specific product or service within a blockchain ecosystem.
So like a membership card or something.
Yeah, kind of. Like, let's say there's this platform that lets you store files on a decentralized network. A utility token might be what you use to pay for that storage space or access certain features within that platform.
Okay, so it's all about utility within a specific system. It's not trying to be digital cash or represent a stock certificate. It has a function within a particular blockchain project.
You got it. It's another example of how diverse the altcoin world is. There's a lot more going on than just trying to be the next Bitcoin.
Yeah, it seems like altcoins are exploring all these different ways to use blockchain technology, payments, investing, data storage, and probably a bunch of other stuff I haven't even imagined yet.
Exactly. And that's what makes it such an exciting area to follow. It's like the Wild West out there with all this innovation happening at a rapid pace.
So we've covered a lot of practical ground here, but let's be real, not all altcoins are created equal, right? So some are more, shall we say, out there.
You're talking about our meme coins, the ones that pop up and suddenly everyone's talking about them.
Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, those are the ones that come to mind.
Exactly. Driven by online hype, maybe a celebrity endorsement here and there, a lot of fun, but also a lot of risk.
Yeah, you're not dropping your life savings into Dogecoin, are you?
I would advise against it. They can be incredibly volatile, so unless you're comfortable with a bit of a gamble, maybe steer clear.
Good advice. Okay, so we've got digital cash, stable coins, asset-backed tokens, utility tokens, and meme coins. Anything else? Or did we just cover the entire altcoin ecosystem?
One more category to go, and it's an important one: governance tokens.
Governance tokens. Okay, those sound a little more official, a little more, I don't know, impactful than just a fun meme.
They definitely have the potential to be. Governance tokens basically give you voting rights within a blockchain project.
Wait, really? So if I own some governance tokens, I have a say in how that project is run?
Exactly. It's all about decentralization, putting the power in the hands of the community rather than a central authority.
Wow, that's actually really cool. I can see why those are important. It gives people a real stake in the projects they believe in.
Exactly. It aligns incentives, encourages participation, and ensures that the project is being steered by the people who use it. It's a key part of the whole ethos of blockchain, really.
Right. It all comes back to that decentralized vision. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've gone from the basics of what an altcoin is all the way to meme coins and governance tokens. What a journey.
And we've only just scratched the surface, but I think the key takeaway is that the altcoin world is incredibly diverse. There's so much happening, and it's changing all the time.
It definitely feels like the Wild West out there, like the Investopedia article said. Lots of potential, but also a lot of unknowns.
Absolutely. So if you're thinking about dipping your toes into the altcoin waters, do your research, understand the risks, and invest responsibly.
Couldn't agree more. It's been a fascinating deep dive. Thanks for breaking it all down for us.
My pleasure.
And to our listeners, be sure to check out the full Investopedia article. It's got even more great information about altcoins and their potential impact. And as always, keep those thinking caps on, because in the world of crypto, the only constant is change.